Right, it's Sports Plus, still on ABS television. Good morning, Anambra show. And a lot is really happening, in the world of
the other day, I heard on radio interviewing Manu, the coach of the Golden Eaglets. Okay. He came into Anambra State. What has he come to do? How is he faring with his job to scout for new entrants into the world of sports, of football? Onyeka?
Of course, he came to find young talents under 17 that can help and put Golden Eaglets into shape. Because looking at things right now, there are a crop of players we have in Anambra State which have not been found. Because I know that as far as football is concerned, this time around we need to pick those people on merits and what they are able to put on this table.
And these are young girls.
Exactly, young boys.
He seems to be a reformer, because sometimes you see a decayed system or something, and maybe God may send somebody from somewhere to come and put it in order. All right, Onyeka.
Okay.
We just wish him a very beautiful and fruitful stay.
Okay.
And we believe that at the end of the exercise, we'll have a lot of young boys, into the national team.
Amen.
Have we gone into a prayer session?
That's what it means. Scouting program conducted recently in and of course the Oka City Stadium was to pick some talents we have in the state, Anambra State in particular, in order to fulfill the roles that are being expected of them, especially when it comes to the under-17 Golden Eaglets national team. And that was the program held yesterday in Oka City Stadium. With this, I welcome you to ABS Sports Flash. Today is Friday. Thank God it's Friday, and of course we have many things to give you in the world of football. Only what you have to do is just to kick up and almost stay with me, because I have everything to give you, starting from that scouting program conducted recently yesterday, of course, in Oka City Stadium. And from it, almost over 97 football clubs and academies in Anambra State and in Southeast Zone are featured in that program on that 17 talent hunt and scouting program being organized by the Anambra State Football Association, ANSFA, under the leadership of Chief Chike Iloenyesi. Of course, the two-day football scouting program held yesterday at Oka City Stadium is being graced by the presence of the national under-17 handler. I'm talking about Coach Manu Garoba, OON, and team coordinator Bello Garoba Gusao. The scouting program is geared towards showcasing the numerous young talents in Anambra State and thereby giving them an opportunity to be part of the under-17 national team. I'm talking about the Golden Eaglets, which is an initiative of Chief Iloenyesi for the development of grassroots football in Anambra State. Speaking to sports journalists yesterday, based on the program, how it went this 22nd, I'm talking about 22nd January 2025, Golden Eaglets coach, I'm talking about Maru Garoba, stated that his visit to Anambra State is to hunt for the best talents in the state and that can play for the national team. And likewise, he disclosed that he's after players with the talent and technical ability who can be groomed to become the best in their age category and give a good account of themselves, donning the green and white colors of the nation. He informed that the selected players from the program will undergo the mandatory magnetic resonance imaging MRI test before they are invited for the national campaign program. He commended the ANSFA chairman, Chief Iloenyesi, for his dedication, commitment, and initiatives aimed at developing football at the grassroots level in the state. In his remarks, the chairman, Anambra State Football Association, Chief Chike Iloenyesi, stated that his administration as the chairman of the Anambra FA is poised towards football growth. And likewise, development at the grassroots level through talent hunting of this nature. And the Iloyese also disclosed that the program is a launch pad to many more as he intends to get the Flying Eagle School to the States in the future. He admonished the players to be at the best during the two-day, of course, scouting program. And likewise, on this part, former secretary of Anambra FA, Sir Victor Wangu, described the scouting program as unprecedented, in the history of football administration in the state. Wangu vowed that the scouting program will not, no doubt, give the footballing teenagers in the state an opportunity to become professional footballers in the future, while he commended the answer boss, Chief Ilenyesi, for the vision and initiative. And likewise, a football administrator and team manager of the Racing FC of Oka, Adolphus Ekeke, eulogized the ANSFA chairman, Chief Ilenyesi, for utilizing his connections in drawing the Golden Eagles coach and the team coordinator to the state. Ekeke said the scouting program will no doubt put the state on the map of football, and it's a great opening for Anambra youth to be part of the national team. Reacting as well, the national president of ANSA to Barrister Titus Abudo described the program as a welcome development as it provides a platform for Anambra footballers to have a fighting chance of playing for the under-17 national team and engage the youth to be meaningfully employed through engaging in sports. Of course, the day featured a catalog of friendly matches among teams and the coach scouts for great talents. That's what actually trended yesterday in Oka City Stadium. Likewise, we have something about proprietor of the Campus FC, Osuji, commends Anambra FA boss for the success of the Under-17 scouting program, which was held yesterday. You know that this is much thing we were able to put on ground yesterday because so many things happened. Over 97 clubs and thereabout, participated in the ongoing scouting, and which ended yesterday in, of course, in Oka City Stadium. And Chief Chikelwe Iloyese for the initiative of holding an under-17 football scouting program. He was really commended for that. Mr. Osuji made the remarks during an interaction with sports journalists on that was yesterday at the Oka City Stadium, venue of the two-day talent hunt and player selection program for the under-17 national team. The proprietor of the Imo State-based club described the talent hunt program as a welcome development to the state and the southeast geopolitical zone, which will be very beneficial to teenagers and youth of the state and beyond who are talented footballers striving to play at the highest level of the beautiful game in the land and beyond. Likewise, the founder of the club avowed that Manus Garuba's job is out and is cut out as there are a race of footballing stars in the state and southeast geopolitical zone. The town football administrator also disclosed that he established Campus Football Club and Academy because of his passion for the game, and the primary aim of setting up the club is to take youth off the street and unearth footballing talents. I must commend the chairman, according to him, in Anambra State, as chairman of Anambra State Football Association, Chief Chikelwe, national under-17 coach Manu Garuba to Anambra State and Southeast Zone to scout for football talents. It's a unique and a great opportunity for young footballers in the state to play in front of the seasoned coach and possibly make it by playing for the national team. Osuji and as well advised the participants to be focused, dedicated, and give their very best on the pitch, as this is a rare opportunity for them. He admonished them to be disciplined and shun all forms of social vices in order to achieve their dreams and becoming successful professional footballers. That's all we have to tell you based on the highlights coming from that yesterday's scouting of under-17 youth talent hunt from the man in making. I'm talking about the head coach of the Golden Eagles, Manu Garuba. Likewise, away from this, Nigeria is set to bid for 2031 African Games. The chairman of the National Sports, of course, the Commission, NSC, Malam Shehu Diko, has hinted about the possibility of Nigeria putting up a formal bid to host the 2031 African Games, even as the Commission solicits support from the world's anti-doping agency, WADA, and its United States counterparts on the country's anti-doping plans. Formerly known as the All-African Games, Nigeria hosted the second edition of the quadrennial continental multi-sport event in Lagos, and that was in 1973, and held its 8th edition in Abuja, and that was in 2003. Over 2 decades after Nigeria last hosted the Continental Showpiece, DICO revealed the country's interest following a meeting on the margins of the recently concluded Interregional African Ministerial meeting in Banjul, and that was Gambia, with the African Union Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development, Minata Samara Sisuma. He was there presently, and DICO was one of the panelists and speakers at the event that brought together ministers of sports in Africa, UNESCO, anti-doping convention officials, and stakeholders and experts across the globe, and presented the paper titled Building the Legacy of Major Sports Events. At the parley with Sensuma, DICO said the NSC wants to collaborate to upscale and enhance the operations of the African Union Sports Council Region 2, which Nigeria will be is hosting the headquarters and leading the process. DICO also had engagements with the Gambian President, His Excellency Mr. Adama Barrow, and other senior Gambian officials, including the Vice President and Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Bakwe Badije. Now it's moving over to what is happening, especially in Nigerian football players are playing abroad. I'm talking about the only one person who has made many instincts in his club side, and looking at what he has been able to put on his table. We're talking about Ihan Acho. He has not performed yet for Sevilla, and Sevilla confirms a possible exit. Likewise, Ihan Acho, I don't know exactly what is happening in his side right now, but Nigerian forward Kelechi Iheanacho could leave Spanish La Liga club Sevilla FC during the current January transfer window, according to the club manager, Garcia Pimenta. The 28-year-old has made 11 appearances for Sevillistas and scored just 3 goals. That was very poor since joining the club from English Premier League outfit Leicester City ahead of the current season. If he improves what we have, there are no problems. I don't know why some players fit in better with a club or an environment than others. Pimenta said on Dario de Sevilla. I don't know if Kelechi will stay until the end of the season. There have been offers for him. He has established in England, and I'm sure he wants to play more. I understand that he wants to leave. Pimenta also pointed out that the former Manchester City star has failed to meet expectations at the 7-time UEFA Europa League winners. The former FC Barcelona reserve team head coach also commented on Iheanacho's weight and indicated that there are no problems. It remains to be seen whether Sevilla will offload Iheanacho this month, with the player being linked with clubs such as Wolverhampton Wanderers, Ipswich Town, and Leeds United. The actual thing is that looking at the form of Iheanacho, he is not right now in his scintillating form, because I believe that after that much injury from his international duty, he was not able to go further, proving his mettle in the world of football. And though he showcased himself and expertise in the African Cup of Nations, 2023 for Nigerian side, though that Nigerian side are magnified, especially that last match between Nigeria and of course Cote d'Ivoire. So Iheanacho is for me, he still has a lot to contribute in the world of sports, unless if he wants to resign from his nationality and face only club side. I think that performance in the Leicester United, I think he did something very creditable and needs to improve more. That's all I have to say. But I don't know whether the injury is still keeping him, aside from performing his special duty. And from this, we are going over to Sapa. Sapa deals with troubled Lecoq Sportif save. I'm talking about Lecoq Sportif sponsorship deals with Bafana and Bayana are not in jeopardy, despite the French company filing for bankruptcy. The apparel manufacturer, which is based in Anthem, has been placed in 6-month observation period in Paris due to outstanding payments. Lecoq Sportif reached an agreement with the South African Football Association, SAFA, in 2020 to sponsor with the men's and women's national teams until 2026. However, the sales director of the South African division, Roger Nordes, insists that deal with SAFA will not be impacted, nor with Betway Premiership side Stellenbosch, who are also sponsored by the Atletico roster. So exactly, they have to sort things out, because telling me that you're going to sponsor producing of GC and the rest of, no, you don't have to disappoint, because that is what we call a breach of contract. So everything you make a promise, everything you pen down is a kind of MOU is something that you have to be respected. So whether you are going on manufacturing those things or not, you have to make it clear so that South African Football Association, we know exactly what they are doing exactly, especially right now that the match qualification for World Cup is fast approaching, World Cup 2026. So away from this, we go over to CAF. CAF says deputy leader faces no action over payments. And likewise, Confederation of African Football, CAF, says its deputy leader, Baron Mosengo Omba, will not face the legal action after an investigation by the Swiss Public Prosecutor's Office into payments made to bank accounts in the country. Mosengo Omba, who hails from DR Congo but also holds a Swiss nationality, has had denied any wrongdoing and met with the prosecutor's office in the canton of Fribourg in November to answer questions. When the preliminary investigation was announced in October, he said on social media, external, that the payments related to remuneration and bonus he had received from CAF since becoming General Secretary, and that they were made in full transparency and full compliance with CAF statuses, according to what he said. Having previously worked for football's world governing body, FIFA, Mosengo Omba was appointed General Secretary in March 2021 following the election of South African billionaire Patrice Motsepe as CAF's president, and the pair have often talked about their ambition to improve the organization's reputation when it comes to integrity and governance. And with Mosengo Omba previously telling BBC Sport Africa that the organization was toxic before their arrival, I want to know what happened. But responding to the news that Mosengo Omba faces no action in Switzerland, CAF said, external, it was pleased that there continues to be adherence and compliance within CAF and the CAF secretariat, and with the culture and commitment to ethics, transparency and governance that was introduced since the presidency of Dr. Patrice Motsepe. Likewise, away from that, we are moving over to transfer segment, knowing exactly the destination of players as far as this January is concerned. Right now, the transfer window is open for clubs to make their necessary move, buying the players that can come in and reshape their games, put their games into technicalities and more of improvement. And likewise, we're talking about the man in making, Zaha. He joined Charlotte MC, and that was on a year-long loan. From him, he said, Wilfred Zaha has joined the Major League Soccer club Charlotte FC on loan until January 2026 with an option to extend until June 2026. The former Crystal Palace forward had been on loan with Lyon, having joined from Galatasaray last summer. He has made just 6 appearances for the French side this season, 5 of them as substitute, and Zaha, 32, will be a designated player sport at Charlotte, and a rule which allows an MLS franchise to sign up to 3 players that would be considered outside the club's salary cap. Zoran Canetta, and the general manager of the North Carolina-based franchise, describes Zaha as a world-class talent and elite goal scorer. Of course, Zaha made 458 appearances for the Palace, and the 3rd most in the club's history, and scored, of course, 90 goals. Oh my God. He joined Manchester United in 2013, but returned to Selhurst Park a year later, initially on loan. Likewise, away from that, Coventry aims to challenge status quo at IOC. KST Coventry hopes to challenge the status quo at the International Olympic Committee, IOC, should she be elected as the first female president. And likewise, the 41-year-old former swimmer would also become the youngest person to hold the position and the first from outside Europe of North America to head the organization in its 130-year history. Should she see off 6 other candidates and succeed Thomas Bach in March vote? That election is going to be conducted around the month of March. And Zimbabwean, who is Africa's most decorated Olympian, wants to go further in empowering female athletes by putting in place stronger safeguarding procedures and providing the support for mothers. Coventry won 7 medals, including 2 golds across the Athens 2004 and Beijing 2008 games, and has served as her country's Minister of Sport, Arts and Recreation since September 2018. She is also currently leading IOC commissions overseeing progress on the Dakar 2026 Youth Olympics and 2032 Brisbane Olympics. Now, likewise, we want to tell you about the keys, the stones sweat tech to set up a Sablanka title showdown. Madison Keys, the man in making, saved a match point before stunning world number 2, Iga Swiatek, to set up an Australian Open final against 2-time defending champion, Arena Sabalenka. And, Keys claimed a shock 5-6, 6-1, 7-6, and that was a total 10-8 victory over 5-time Grand Slam champion Swiatek to reach the second major final of her career. It was a powerful strike for her. And likewise, the Poland's Swiatek served for the match at 6-5 in the third set and likewise held match point. But Keys saved it, broke back, and then recovered from the 7-5 down in a fourth tiebreaker to advance. And Keys' victory came with Belarusian top seed Sablenka in the chance to become the first woman in the 26 years to win the 3 successive Australian Open titles with a commanding 6-4 and 6-2 win over close friend Paula Badosa. Keys has achieved the career best Australian Open run. Sablenka is right now aiming to emulate Martina Hingis' 3 straight titles between 1997 to 1999. And likewise from F1 is another sport. F1's drivers face bans for criticizing ruling body. Right now, when we're talking about this F1 of 18, it came to my mind that you don't have any rights as far as the sport is concerned to criticize the organizing body. If not, the only way you have to do is just to keep on putting complaints or petition the way it's supposed to be done, because I know that there are laid down rules for any sports segment, any sports in the world of sports. We have rules for any sport which you are doing or you are partaking. So anything you have, anytime you have a problem or you have a kind of uncomfortable things that you are facing, you have to put it in the right way you're supposed to. And the Formula 1 drivers face race bans if they repeatedly swear or criticize the sports governing body under new rules introduced this year. Changes to the FIA's sporting code for the 2025 season codify the steps to a potential race ban for drivers deemed guilty of such offenses. They mean that if a driver commits 3 such offenses, they are at risk of a 1-month suspension plus deduction of the championship points. That's exactly what they do in the sport. And the Grand Prize Drivers Association, JPDA, said it had no comment on that matter for the time being. Away from that, we are talking about the transfer segment from the world of football, and the person we are talking about, the club we are talking about, is the Manchester City of all times. And looking at what is exactly going to happen, that will be a rough and a clash of titans match between Chelsea and Manchester City, and that will be this weekend. So all you have to do is just to avail yourself, because right now Man City signed Frankfurt forward Amin Mamouche and that was 59 million pounds. Manchester City have signed the Egyptian forward Omar Mamouche from the Eintracht Frankfurt for 70 million euros, and that was 59 million pounds. The 25-year-old has agreed a contract until June 2029, with add-ons rising to 4 million pounds. Mamouche has scored 15 goals in 17 Bundesliga games this season, second only to England captain Harry Kane's 16 for Bayern Munich. And the City have also signed 19-year-old Brazilian defender Victor Reis from Palmeiras for 30 million pounds, and Uzbekistan defender Abdul Qadir Kusanov, and that was from Lens for 34 million pounds in the January transfer window. Kudos to Pep Guardiola, who has been fueling all these things, and likewise Mamouche began his career with Wadi Degla in the Egyptian Premier League before signing for VfL Wolfsburg in 2020. He had loan spells at FC St. Pauli and VfB Stuttgart before his 2023 move to Frankfurt, for whom he scored 37 goals and made 20 assists in 67 games. I think that's exactly what we have for you in the world of football. And to whom much is given, much is being expected. This is all we have for you talking about the transfer segment. Likewise, Chelsea is eyeing Alejandro Garnacho of Manchester United right now. But the problem is, is Chelsea going to convert Garnacho to the man he wants to be? And we're looking at after Cristiano Ronaldo, nobody is doubting him on that. But the thing we are talking about right now is whether he's going to make it, because I know that, like a way the Garnacho man in making is trying to see whether he can prove himself. Right now, the Manchester United says no to his contract still running in the club right now. So it's left for them to make a move as far as football is concerned, to try to balance the diet. That's all I have to tell him. And likewise, Rashford himself is leaving. Very soon, Rashford is saying goodbye to Old Trafford. But the question is, leaving their exit in the club, is this a solution that Manchester United is going to, turn the table around, despite the fact that Amorim has stepped in as their head coach right now, but they are not giving the result. But let's watch out what they will turn out to be, especially in their matches, the matches they have this weekend. Likewise, and from the transfer segment, we still have that Borussia Dortmund has stepped back from the race to sign England forward Marcus Rashford, 27. With the Manchester United players, £350,000 per week, which is proving a stumbling block. That's exactly what I have to tell you based on that. Arsenal and Ukraine left back Oleksandr Zinchenko, 28, is expected to leave before the end of the window, with the Borussia Dortmund eyeing a deal. And Dortmund likewise also have an eye on Chelsea and England left back Ben Chilwell, who is 28 as well. And that's an alternative option. Chelsea have verbally agreed a deal to loan Portugal midfielder Renato Berger, 21, to Juventus for the rest of the season, while Arsenal and Scotland left back Kylian Tierney, 27, is on the verge of agreeing a pre-contract to return to Celtic on a free transfer at the end of the season. West Ham want RB Leipzig's Andre Silva, 29, on loan for the rest of the season, but return to Ajax Netherlands striker Brian Brobbey, 22, if they fail to secure a deal for the Portugal forward. And likewise, tell me something, because I know that right now, Aston Villa, the Aston Villa, they want to bring in the French centre-back. I'm talking about Loic Bede, which is 24 years old, from Sevilla, after allowing the Brazilian defender Diego. I'm talking about the Diego man to leave that club. But let's see whether they are going to prove themselves right. Chelsea are likewise targeting Hellas Verona and Morocco midfielder Reda Belihani, and that was he was 20. He's 20-year-old as they prepare to sell Italian 22-year-old Cesare Castadei. And, the man has been trying his best, but it's not, they want him to get this experience in the world of football. Looking at what he was able to put on the table, let's see whether he's going to make something out of it. And finally, from Wolves, Wolves have rejected an opening offer from Millwall for 22-year-old English midfielder Luke Kondo, who is also wanted by Swansea and Bristol City. Likewise, it's good to watch this weekend match between Chelsea and Manchester City. This is one very big match we have for you and in the weekend. And I expect you to come back next week, because next Friday we also have another segment of Sports Flash for you. But Ikoski Nwokede will take you on that. And this is where we call it a day on today's Sports Flash on ABS TV. I'm Serious Sportsman standing in for Nwokede. Call me Mark Anthony and saying bye for now.